Okay, Saturday morning in the kingdom, we woke up to sunshine, yes, but it's a false impression because yesterday we had sunshine and then in the early evenings we had flare-up fires west of WHO-ville. Yes, the smoke was unreal. It was billowing straight up in the air, but they were able to work on the fires. But they'll probably be active again today, and hopefully we don't have to go car camping again. That was boring, yes, and cost a lot of money too. All right. So that's what happens when you unpack a few things and bring it into the house. The next day, you could be car camping, yes. All right, so this morning we woke up to +6, but feels like +5 Celsius. And I think on the yo-yo scale, that would be +46, but feels like +45 Fahrenheit. I'm guessing. I didn't Google it. And the government website for the weather, yes, the government weather channel, whatever, is actually working after 2 weeks. So here's a government website used for aviation and everything like that. Oh, have to have the cough. You know, I'm not an imposter or AI generated standing here holding a stick. Yes, so here's an important website that is needed for aviation, farming, you name it, and kingdom forecasting or day planning. Yes, kingdom day planning. And the guy goes on holidays for 2 weeks and they don't adjust it, so it's not working. But that's the government. Oh, well, we have to accept it and get used to it. We have no idea what we're going to do today. We'll probably wander around aimlessly lost. Keep an eye on the fires. Yes, the fires, because all it can take is the ex-wife to come back at us one more time. So it's unreal. How would you say? It all started back on May 7th with the Gong Show Mining Company not putting out the fire the first 2 times, and then the third time it got away. So now it is, what, June 14th? Oh, isn't it USA Flag Day today down in the States? That's just off the cuff of my head or my memory. It could be a delusion because I've been sober for so long. So I'm not sure. So we've got a Gong Show Mining Company. What, a month later, 6 weeks later, we're still having fires. Yes, because they don't record the first 2 fires that got out of control. And that was like 2 or 3 weeks before that. So basically 2 months of fire around here. Unreal. We doubt the Gong Show Mining Company is going to come back because they'll have no money. Yeah, because everybody's going to sue their ass off and this for the damages. Yeah, so they won't have any money to go mining. They'll just disappear in the middle of the night. Just like when they left town, they tossed plywood over the doors of their buildings and left instead of sticking around to help fight the fire. All right, we got to go. Here comes the boss.
Saturday morning in Whoville. It's almost 10 a.m. and I just did my hotspot check around the kingdom. As you can hear my voice, I'm not feeling the greatest. I can barely breathe or smell anything, but my hound dog nose is still working, which is good. Now let's head inside and make something for breakfast. At 1 p.m. or so, I'll head over to my dad's and do another hotspot check and just keep an eye on things. The wind is starting to pick up here, so anything could happen. We actually had 3 flare-ups last night over by the airport. I actually smelt them, but I thought it was up behind the RCMP in that bush area. My nose was right, it was just the wrong area. Luckily, they were able to get them under control pretty quick. I went out towards the airport and took a picture of it, and there was 3 little hot spots. You could see the smoke coming up, and it was pretty dark smoke. But we have enough fire crew and people here, they were able to get it under control. All we're really doing is monitoring for hot spots and stuff, especially with this wind picking up. We are supposed to get rain here at some point, but as you can see, there's not a cloud in the sky at the moment, but there is some clouds off into the distance, so hopefully we get some rain today.
Okay, I did check the calendar. It is the USA Flag Day over there. Yes, beside the Monty Python family flag there for the Maryland. So happy Flag Day in the USA. And also, too, happy 250th anniversary to the members. We can't say any words because we'll be censored. Yes, we're Canadians and we're censored all the time. All right, let's scroll this way. So today is going to be a play day. Yes, the boss will be impressed because we're having play day. So we have Bad Business over there, Free Fall over there, and Kijiji over here. That never got started and ran last winter to go out and frolic in the snow. Yes, have fun, pull the drags, pull the sleighs, have fun. So they've been sitting a long time. So let's, how would you say, get them up and running today, because that'll be a perfect day for, how would you say, fun day. Oh, look at the USA flag going back there. We have the good one that was gifted to us packed away in the shed because of the fires. Yes, all right. So let's walk over and see what we're doing. So if this was planned to start the cats, the batteries would have been removed and taken inside where it's warm, and we put the trickle charger on overnight. Oh wait, we don't have power here to run the trickle charger. So we have the booster cables out. So there, I'm following in my father's footsteps and his father before him. Booster cables. Yes, I hate booster cables, and I hate running around putting air in tires. So we had the 38 GMC running. It's the hand throttle, and the battery's in here. Yeah, it's in here. So that works out nice, easy for boosting. And the fact that it's no longer under the floorboards here or under the hood. I don't know what I was thinking putting it under the hood. Oh wait, I was doing what I did in the 39. Alright, let's go see if we can find the tripod. Maybe we can get some startup videos. I have everything packed away over here because we're ready to go at any time. So if I get to rummaging around in the boxes here, untarp them, find the tripod to hold the me phone, and then for sure we'll be leaving tonight because the wind is getting up and we're going to have fire flare-ups over here. We could have the good forest fire again. The ex-wife could return one more time, just like she has done in the past. Oh, what a forest fire. In the past, the forest fire went blowing past us. We survived, and then it would rain and the fire would be out, but not this one. The ex-wife forest fire keeps coming back for more and more. All right, let's get some film footage here happening to mark our fun day. Yes, our fun day. Okay, we got Kijiji parked over by the shop, and we'll do a full introduction on him when we bring the other one over, because he's a twin. Yes, a twin. We're going to bring Freefall over. And look at the flags. The wind is getting up, so that means the ex-wife forest fire is going to be tormenting us. All right, let's go check on Freefall. Okay, we're over here, and we got Freefall on the booster, and the 38 GMC has no trouble getting in. And also, too, the more we use the truck, the clutch is getting better because, how would you say, it's all rusted, and how would you say, not used for all these years. So now you're using it, it's shining up, and it's starting to slip like a clutch is supposed to. It's not as grabby. Also, too, we're going to give it a boost. So now we'll give it a boost and get it started. And we'll set the tripod up on the barrel. Yes, we are pretty fancy around here. That's our tripod on a barrel. Okay, that didn't go very well, but I knew something was wrong. Okay, when I went to put the gas in the gas tank up here, we popped the top off. All right, see the rest, Les Nutsman? So we knew there was a problem. We're going to have a problem. So we continued on anyways. We set up the me phone on the tripod to crank it over, and it wouldn't start. Okay, so the first thing you do is pop the filter off, or you pop the drain out of the bottom of the carb. It's not a carburetor, it's a fuel or a gas mister, because it's not a carburetor, there's no control. So the fuel wouldn't come out, but the fuel is coming out the filter, no problem. So the float is stuck in here, and let's see if we can flip this over, Les Nutsman. This is the float stopper thingy-me-bob to keep it from floating, to shut the fuel off. Disconnect it, play with it, nothing. And then you get out your trusty 3-in-1 air hose, thinking a little blow would get it going, but no blow. Yes, no blow, no nothing. So that's how you take the carburetor off on your TD9, known as Freefall. And this is the explanation of the, how do you say, decompression levers, fuel shut off. Oh, I got the burps. And the fuel shut off for, how do you say, making it run on gas. Yes. So these are your gas ports. And when it's running on gas, it sucks it in here. And then when you switch to diesel, these kind of get closed off and this here is running. All right. So to get this carburetor whipped apart, see if we have to soak it. Oh, it's not a carburetor, a gas mister. Get it apart on the workbench, soak it over lunch, and then we might have, how would you say, it'll start. Yes, I got to fix the carburetor on my diesel motor. Okay, just like Dirty Harry. Yes, Clint Eastwood and Dirty Harry, I had to know. So there's the carburetor. It's green and fuzzy, just like the stuff in my fridge because of the power outage. And the float thingy here is not floating up and down. It's not moving. And then this is the lever here that shuts the fuel off, okay? So I guess we'll have to soak this down, have some lunch, and then hopefully after lunch we can make this carburetor work on my diesel motor.
2 p.m. and I was just doing my hotspot checks and came to see what my dad was up to. Looks like he's working on the cats today. He got this one cat started here. He'll take it around to the shop. That way he can continue working on it. As you can see, there's some jumper cables that go to the truck here as well. At least it started. Now my dad's going to bring the cat around and park it in front of the shop here with the other one. That way they are closer to the shop and all the tools and he can work on them. Almost 2:30 and I just made it back from the kingdom. I did not see or smell anything, which is good. I also did a good deed today. There's an older fellow in town here who has been doing garbage runs and a few other things for his shop. He ran out of gas out by the garbage dump, which is a little ways past the kingdom, and he seen me outside working on my sprinklers and getting stuff ready out here. Asked if I could help him, so I jumped in the truck with him and we went and put gas in his old dump truck. We brought it back to town, made sure he got back to town no problem. That truck is pretty old, kind of like my dad's vehicles. Got him back to town no problem. On the way back to town, I noticed a big white column of smoke. So once I dropped him off and came back to the house here, I went over to the DNR building and let everyone know over there about the fire that I seen. So they will be sending the helicopter out to go check it out and hopefully they can get it under control before anything flares up. To me, it kind of looked like it was over way out past the kingdom, so we should be safe, but I will be keeping a close eye on that column of smoke as well. They were able to get the airport area under control last night. I don't see any smoke or flare-ups over there anymore. Now I can officially get my sprinklers started so I can water my grass. I like to keep the yard nice and wet because anything can happen, and the last thing I need is a big flare-up happening outside of town, a hot ember flying all the way over this way and landing on my house. This house is paid for.
Okay, all it took was to clean the carb and Freefall was up and running and parked beside the Kijiji, and they are twins. Yes, they are twin winter freight sleigh pull. Oh, these lips, doing this sober. All right, they're both twins because they're winter freighting sleigh pullers. Yes, they're polecats. This is pull the sleighs. That's why they have the little plywood windshield and we canvas them in, and that's why they have no tails, and they're just for freighting or pulling sleighs. All right, let's go see if we can get the other one going. Yes, Bad Business. Okay, the last and final cat to get up and going is the TD9 known as Bad Business. Yes, it had another name, but I kind of got screwed on the deal, so it got changed over to Bad Business. So it's a 3-seater. This is where the staff learned to weld. She helped build the seats. We copied the TD-18s from the United States military. Oh yes, 250 years or whatever they're celebrating, I think it is. And we made seats so we could carry people through the wilderness, and the guards are on the front to protect them from trees. Yes. All right, let's see if we can set up the tripod with the Me phone and record this great event. Okay, we got everything lined up and looking good. Service truck is back. The cats are lined up. The twins and bad business over there. All right, so this is what we like in a tripod. Yes, that's the tripod. Yes, and I grew up reading the National Geographic magazine and seeing those fancy cameras and everything they had back in the day to get those beautiful pictures of those young ladies over in Africa, topless. So we got to see their boobies, yes. So we like this barrel, okay? See, the barrel has a concave or a bulge, yeah, a bulge, so you can move this around, see, like this and this to get it straight. It's like a pendulum or a wobble or a gimbal or something like that. You can center the camera, because the Kingdom, nothing is level. Yes, nothing is level. All right, let's do a quick recap on the cats. We'll stop the video here, restart, and then refresh everyone's memory, including mine at my age. Okay, we'll start off Kijiji. I bought him on the Canadian Craigslist or whatever it's called, Kijiji. It was the buy and sell marketplace on the internet, and that's why I got the name Kijiji. Family owned. They were supposed to be an ag cat, always on the farm. The fella died. There's supposed to be nothing wrong with the cat, and I paid top dollar. By the time it was landed here, it was about $6,000, and guess what? It was junk. Just junk. The motor was seized, the injection pump was all screwed up, but the best part was the final drive on this side was blowing up. Yeah, so basically it was a parts cat. So yeah, so we had to get in here, fix all that, and to make him a true winter freighting cat, because he was an ag cat, you got to get the top wooden roller. So we made him look like a freighting cat, but we've always known he's an ag cat. But his cylinder head was cracked. We figured that out in 2024, so we tossed another one on and hope for the best. Yes, we're not sure what to do. I just give up on this cat some days because I spent a lot of money on it. But the main thing is it starts and runs, and it looks like a winter freighting cat from the 1940s, except for this colored grill on the front. But then again, we have too many rods with broken cast iron strips in here, so we changed it out to a channel iron. So the grill is made to fit the channel iron, so there was no point in trying to make the grill fit. But this thing here, we featured it well on the YouTube videos, from cylinder heads to the rad leaking to this, to this, to this. It was an endless list, like a bad marriage. Okay, the other one is of the twins, it's Free Fall. Yes, Free Fall. And he is a true winter freighting cat. He is from the north here. He was gifted to us. We went down to the paw and got him. And he is a winter freighting cat. So to keep the nostalgia look, we put the, how do you say, the tractor 4-inch rubber mounts inside the lights, because that gives it the look. Yes, the look, like cleavage. Yeah, you gotta have the cleavage. So we put the lights in there because we know up here, a little bulb in there bouncing around will just crack and break, and then you got no lights. All right, so he had to get his carb clean, but other than that, he started right up. We're very pleased. True winter freighting cat. He didn't come with rollers. He came with a wooden top roller, but he's Free Fall because he fell. Yes. So try to explain to people what happened to Free Fall. You tell everybody when we had the final drives and everything apart in 2017, fixing everything, is basically Free Fall fell out of an airplane and the parachute didn't open. When it landed on the ground, it took the track arm, which is down in here. Oh, I can't see it. You can't really photograph it. But this arm here broke and was shoved up into here. Yes. So the old timers, how would you say, salvage the cat out of the lake? Because that's the only time it's going to free fall, is when it falls through the ice and lands on the bottom, because I would give it a good free fall to, how would you say, do the damage, because there's nothing in the world that could break that steel and shove it up into the casting. Okay, so that's how we got the name Free Fall. So he is a true winter freighting cat, because he is a winter freighting cat, and it will always be. But he's part of the twins. Yes, the twins. Okay, Bad Business arrived in 2004. He was bought for the price of scrap metal because the final drives were blowing up and the motor was seized. Okay, so all he did was take the cylinder head off, buff the cylinder out, and got him up and running. He's always started. He's always started. No matter what you do, even in the shop, when we fired him over for the first time on gas, he fired up, and he fired on diesel. He's always been a good starter. So what we've done is copied everything off of this cat, especially this fuel injector, or gas mister, the carburetor. We took this carburetor apart and figured out what's the problem. Why is this thing such a good starter 20 years later? And we found out that this carburetor doesn't have a plate over the port here. All right, so that makes it good for starting in the cold. That's what we want. We don't use these cats in the summer. So we have a hard time starting them in the summer because we're trying to start them as if it's cold, right? So this is Bad Business. The staff did most of the welding on these seats. So you sit on the seats here and your legs are protected by the piece here. Oh, hand and eye coordination, Les Nessman. And he's a true winter freighting cat. We've done lots with him. Got the windshield, The exhaust is clamped on because the manifold is broken, and we had to put a seat riser in it. Yeah, it's a booster seat because my hips start to bother me and my knees, and so we put extensions on. But it's pretty nice, smooth riding cat, and you get quite warm with all the covering in here. And he's a true winter freighting cat because he's got the tail, because when we were doing road breaks and everything like that, this cat would be pulling a drag, and down she would go, throw the cable out, and we can pull it back. All right, let's go enjoy some beverage. I mean, coffee. Oh, my lips are just watering for beverage. But we have to stay sober because the fires are just over there. Just like the ex-wife, who'll never give up.
4 p.m. and I came down to the water treatment plant because of this. Look at that. It is getting warm out here, so places are starting to flare up. This is why people are not allowed to come back yet. They also pushed out all the trees here and made a nice lake view front here. It's a nice fire break. That way, when that fire went this way, as you can see by the burnt trees there, the fire went this way, it wouldn't jump and start on this side of town. But look at that. This is why people are not allowed to come back yet. I know people want to, but this is the reason why. We are ready to evacuate again just in case. We will go up to the mine site in behind the arena. Big open space back there. We went there last time and it is safe. You'll just get a little smoky, but that's okay. Not sure if you can see over here. That's starting to flare up as well. It is windy out here and the wind is pushing it that way, which is good. But the wind could change at any time, and then it could end up pushing it right towards town. $6 p.m. and I'm just getting ready to head over to the Kingdom to do my hotspot checks. I've been checking every few hours since it is pretty windy out here right now. Anything could happen. We got some clouds rolling in. Maybe we'll finally get some rain. Hopefully no thunder and lightning. I do hear a water bomber out flying around, which is good. That means they are tackling that flare-up I recorded in the last video. Now let's head inside and let the dogs back in, go over to the Kingdom, and end my day.
Okay, we're done for the day. I think it's 6 o'clock. The staff just drove through here to do her hotspot checks. Yes. All right, so we got the 2 cats lined up here, the twins, and we have bad business over there. So we got not much to do on our time card. We had the cats over there. We moved them over here, and we cleaned the carburetor and put the hood back on. Yes, the boss will be pleased. All right, we have a little fire over there. Yes, on the other side of the highway. They're working on it right now. Plus, we have one over there, which is kind of a big one by the smoke clouds over there. The staff has been photographing and videoing that. That one is a concern because if the wind changes, it's coming right towards WHO-ville, and then we have a problem. All right, but that's why everybody's still evacuated, because we might be car camping right away again tonight or tomorrow. You never know with this forest fire known as the ex-wife. Let's see if we can do a sidestep like that country western song. There we go. Look at those flags. Yes, look at those flags. All right, let's go walk the dogs, drink some orange juice. Yes, oh yes, I can just taste the vodka right now, and make a video. Talk to you later.